Hi, I'm Captain Chris. Welcome to Jacksonville. More accurately, Ortega River, south of Jacksonville, Florida, off the St. Johns River. I'm working with the new owners of an Endeavour 44 Power Cat, and as I go aboard the boat, we'll check systems, we'll check the oil, we'll check the engines, the transmissions, check the generator. In fact, when we check the generator, we have discovered that an exhaust elbow, like the elbow on your arm, the exhaust elbow on the generator is cracked. Not only is it leaking water, but it's also leaking carbon monoxide. So that means on this trip, we won't be able to anchor out and run the generator and run the air conditioner. So we'll have to stay in marinas. Other things that you'll see on this video as we cruise north is we'll go through some railroad drawbridges, some automotive drawbridges, down the St. Johns River, and a lot of people think, is it up or is it down? But the St. Johns River runs north, or it flows north to the ocean, so we're going downriver to the north. We'll hang a left, we'll turn north at Sisters Creek, and head up the Intercoastal Waterway into Kilkenny, Georgia. Stick around, watch these couple of clips, and I'll be back in a few minutes to explain some more. The bright yellow stick, there it is, it's by your knee.
Other side. Other engine, other side, got it?
Yeah, that might help a little bit.
Now,
What's it show? Turn it over. The full mark is up here somewhere.
yeah, it's right. Right there. A little less than that. Let me do it one more time.
Okay.
If I turn it the right way. Flip it over. Yeah, a little under.
Yeah, a little under. So we might be running fast today, so let's take the time and top off the engine with a little dab of oil.
Okay.
Here, I've got your makeshift funnel. Now there's a rubber O-ring on that. Make sure it came off with the yellow lid.
Yep.
Okay, good. Here's your funnel. And then your oil jug right here has a sight window in the back. Okay, you got the jug?
In the bathroom.
Okay, we'll wait for you.
The sight
Sight
window?
window's right there.
Oh, okay.
Shine the light on
I
again.
don't have glasses.
Pardon?
Since I don't have glasses, I made you a cup of water up here in the Bojangles cup.
Okay, that's good, thank you.
Alright, so, oh, I see, it's actually clear. I didn't know what I was looking at. Okay, yeah, okay, it's right there.
It's molded into the handle.
So that's,
We'll put the flashlight all the way, touch it, touch the flashlight to it. You see the liquid
right,
right through here.
right.
Okay, and without the flashlight, you can just look in that clear strip.
Yeah, that's so I could see that. I was trying to.
Okay.
Okay, so we're.
Well, you're not measuring this, you're measuring the dipstick. So put in...
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how much. What do you think? So I don't know what the.
I would think put in quarter cup.
Okay.
Okay, let that go. Now next time pour this on the side. Instead of on the end, pour it on the side.
Okay.
It'll pour better.
All right.
And put the lid on it. Always put the lid on your jug because they have a way of falling off. And you don't want a gallon of oil in the bilge.
Noted. And you're right.
Now it'll take a little bit of time for that to drain down through the head of the engine, through the valve stems, all the way into the crankcase.
Okay.
But we can go ahead and pull the stick and see if it makes a difference.
Let's see this side. Okay. That's
What do we have here?
Yeah, it came up a little bit.
It came up? Okay. So I think we'll be good for the day.
All right.
So, since that's the only funnel we have, that plastic coated paper, try to wipe it down so we can reuse it again if necessary.
All right.
And then just throw away the paper towel that you're using to check the dipstick.
Right.
So I'll get this gallon jug out of your way.
All right.
And you can see right here how much oil we've got in it. Let me set this up here. And you can look. There's the oil right there. Got questions about checking the oil? Ask Captain Chris. I'm aboard a boat that's got a lot of equipment squeezed into a lot of very small spaces. In fact, this is the generator. This is a 5 kilowatt generator in here. Let me open this. That turns one way. That turns the other way. Pull it open. And there, you can see the generator, 5 kW generator in this compartment. Here we've got a 3 amp fuse. We've got a very large circuit breaker. I'm going to assume a 50 amp circuit breaker. And another fuse here. This is the fuel filter, oil fill, dipstick, pressure gauges for oil. You can see the fan belt over there, alternator belt, the radiator cap for filling up the heat exchanger. And here's the scary part. Looking all the way back here, I don't know if you can see, but this is cracked. This is the exhaust elbow right here. I apologize, this is the best picture I can get for you, but that's the exhaust elbow that's cracked. There you go. Now you can see the crack. See my finger right there? That's the crack, so this has to be replaced. So the question is, how do you get this thing out of here? Well, of course, there's going to be 4 bolts. Where's my finger at? There's going to be 4 bolts over there, a hose clamp, got these 2 little wires, which are your high temperature sensor. And the fact that I'm doing this with a camera, the mechanic may have to do it with a mirror. Won't be easy, but something we did discover here is this panel will unscrew and go out the other side of the companionway there. But what I am assuming is we will have to undo these 2 fuel hoses, the supply hose and the return hose, unbolt it from the boat right here. There's 6 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over here might be 5, 6, and then lift this entire unit up. Build some 2x6 skids right here, lift that unit up and pull it out and set it down, do the necessary work, and then pull it up, slide it back in, bolt it back down, hook up the exhaust hose, hook up the 2 fuel hoses, hook up the electrical wiring, including the battery switch over there, and we should have it done. As a guess, it's going to take 2 men probably a full 8 hours to pick it up, take it out, change the part, which will be simple, pick it up, put it back in, put it back together again, wire it up, hose it up, tube it up. And I'm guessing that's a full 8-hour day times 2 men. So that's probably a 16 man-hour job. Just wanted to let you know that this is an assumption, or maybe if the mechanics come back with an estimate detailing this, it's probably correct. If you have any other questions about shipyard work or repairs, Ask Captain Chris. I'm in the starboard pontoon 44 Catamaran. This is the water pump for the washdown, anchor washdown pump. That's a strainer for dirty seawater. You can see that hose going up across the top, coming down here, pardon the camera, coming all the way down here to this small piece. That is the seacock for the anchor washdown pump. That's what that is. So I'll follow this back up again. And you can see that goes all the way back to the anchor washdown pump. And then that hose goes up and goes to the nozzle on the bow of the boat. Now this other pump, this is your drinking water pump. And you can see it's got a different type of hose. It's got that white hose hiding back there. White hose is sanitary hose, both for drinking and for sewage. Don't get them confused. And then that's got a strainer on it also. And then this comes from the water tank on the boat, and it goes down that white pipe, plastic pipe, and then that goes to the water tank on the boat. And then up here at the top, you can see that that goes out to the drinking water system on the boat, to the galley sink, to the head sink, to the toilets. This is a freshwater toilet, and also to the shower on the aft deck. If you want to know how I got in here, don't ask me, because I got to crawl out that hole right there. Or no hole up there. Anyway, ask Captain Chris. I didn't know it, but I think this is a spade anchor, and I think it's assembled backwards. Typically, the spade anchor is a concaved plow anchor, and you can see in this situation that it's convexed. See the convex area right there, much like a CQR or a delta. This should be the other way, where this is a mud scoop. This should be facing up. So that way it gives you better ability to anchor in mud and also in sand. So I'm thinking, I'll have to check, but I'm thinking this is a Spade brand anchor and it's assembled backwards. You can see the bolt right here and the nut and the safety pin over there. So if you're anchoring and you're buying a concaved anchor, assemble it in the concaved position rather than in the convexed position. If you want to learn more about anchoring and anchor types, attend our classes in Vero Beach called Cruising 101 Fundamentals, with the emphasis on fun. Need more information? Ask Captain Chris. Where's the wind?
There's basically almost no one's coming from the west, slightly light breeze from the west.
Okay, or from our port side.
Port side.
Okay.
All right, clear line.
Clear.
Okay. Aft line, stand by. Clear line. All clear, all lines?
Okay, standby fenders on the port side for our neighbor and the piling.
Right.
Sherry,
Yeah.
fenders on the port. Okay, port only forward easy for one second. Okay, take us out. She'll pull the fenders up as we get close to the piling. Of course, we'll rub and we'll bounce off a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, watch your dinghy on the stern as you make your turn to right.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Everything's up.
Okay.
Awesome.
You need to pull up the starboard now.
Pull back and stuff.
How easy can that be?
That was pretty easy peasy.
Easy peasy. So we're going British now, okay? Okay, we don't want to wake up the neighbors, but if you want more steerage, give it another 100 RPMs. And when we get out of the marina, give it another 100 or another 200 to improve your steerage. Easy as can be. Casting off from Ortega Landing, Jacksonville, Florida. Have any questions about docking? Ask Captain Chris. Okay, so we're keeping this speed, which is not fast, but it's enough to give us steerage, rudder control. And look at that railroad chute. See, the draw is much more narrow, so come right, come right, come right. Remember, there's two halves of the boat, the front half and the back half, so watch the stern of the boat. We're doing good. This is the CSX Railroad Bridge in Ortega, Jacksonville. So go past that blue boat, aim a little bit to the left. See those barges with construction?
Right here in the front.
Down there about 150 yards. We'll go past those barges, and then you'll see a big white plywood sign that says fuel dock. We'll turn right before the white sign, and we'll go back there towards that tall building.
What?
Did you bring anything to pay for fuel?
I have my credit card.
Oh, good, because I
Well, where's yours?
Hey, Chris, thanks.
If it's in your stateroom, you brought the stateroom with you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not thinking.
Unless you left it in the car.
Right.
Okay, slow us down a little bit. The reason I wanted to slow down is we want to feel what the weather's doing to us. And you also felt the click when you pulled it down. Pull it back one more click to neutral. That's not neutral. There's neutral. Okay, so now we're drifting. And then we will maneuver and go in there. See where it says C? And above that, you've got the Valve Tech fuel sign. We're
Yes.
going to turn right, and that will be on our port side as we go. Okay, there you go. And hold it up like that, and then walk it back around.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, grab your dipstick. Remember, I don't trust that electric gauge, so we want to try the dipstick and read the dipstick. Ouch.
I'll teach you.
Yeah.
You want me to wait?
We'll be close. Okay, leave it in the hole and just read the wet mark. Now, while we're doing that, everything's dripping back in the fuel tank.
Right. Get a red marks right there.
Okay, put your thumb on it or whatever, and I guess count down from the top. You want to count up from the bottom.
Yeah.
Don't.
All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you made me lose count. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's
160 twice, so it's 320.
yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 4 more.
So 16 times 4 is 32, 64. So
16 times, no, there's 4 slots. And each slot was 16 gallons, so it's
Right.
4 times 16.
well, I did old math. I did 2 times 16,
That's
32
64.
times
Oh,
2.
okay, right.
So 64 plus, what was the other? 160 plus 160, you said, right? 320 plus 64 is 384. And we had
So-
100 in there, so that's pretty close to full.
So we're doing good. Okay. So clean off the stick, put that back up, pay the man. So we're judging by the dipstick that we're 3/4.
That sounds about right.
And look over here, we're around 5/8. That's the water, that's the diesel fuel. See the fuel.
Not full, but where we want to be, yeah.
So this is the way that we check the fuel that's guaranteed, so we can trust this by using the dipstick.
Come back.
Did the keys jump in the garbage can?
Yeah, they did. Not for you.
Beautiful. And that's the oil alarm.
Yep.
And we're looking at that. That's 3.3 under the keel.
Mm-hmm.
So we're good there.
All right. All right. Stand by forward line. Let go forward line.
Okay, she can't hear you through the glass.
Okay.
Okay, tell her walk to the stern. Get ready for
Walk
that
to the
one.
stern. Stand by stern line.
3.
Just gonna pop this to reverse.
Yep, now watch outboard motor back there. Port reverse just a little bit. Neutral, both forward. See how the bow came out a little bit? Both forward. Okay, leave your rudder straight until your stern gets away from the wall. Watch the stern of the boat. Okay, now you can use your steering wheel. You're about 4 feet away from the wall. Beautiful, you're doing great. So now we'll go out to the end of this fairway. We're at Charlie Dock, Lambs Marina, Ortega River, Jacksonville. We'll go out past that last boat shed on the right, and then we will turn right and go up the Ortega River a little bit. And this piling's always a surprise. Nobody sees that single piling.
Well, they should put stripes on it.
Well, they're under construction, but still, it's a little scary when all of a sudden you see it there. So that was painless.
Yeah.
If you want to learn more about docking, ask Captain Chris. Spinning the boat with the starboard in reverse and port and forward. So on the rooftop I see your radar, your satellite, TV receiver, and then your air conditioner over on the port roof over the helmsman's head. Okay, good. So now we're pointed up current, and we will be able to practice our anchoring from this point on. Okay, so we've hooked up the bridle on the Catamaran. Ask him to go backwards. While he's doing that, let a little bit more chain out. How much?
What? 1.
1-7.
Okay, we're good. We're going to set the anchor. Let some more of the chain out right there. Okay, that's good. Let him go backwards. And what we want to do is stretch the black rope bridle and not the chain. So look at the chain. Got to let more chain out. Let out more chain, more chain. Okay, put some more droop in the chain. Let out more chain. Okay, that's good.
Stop.
Pardon?
Try to tell them to stop.
No, we want to go in reverse. You can stop, you can stop. Tell them to back it up and bury the anchor.
Back it up and bury the anchor. He doesn't know what that means.
Go in reverse until the boat stops.
Go in reverse till it stops.
And watch the black rope bridle. You see all of the tension on the anchor and the boat is on that black rope. Stay in reverse. You need to stay in, you feel it thump. We went into reverse. We're going to drag the anchor until it buries itself. Is he in reverse? Now I felt it thump again.
Reverse. Reverse.
See, we can see what's going on up here. So we can see the black rope is stretching. Is he in reverse? Tell him faster reverse. Keep it going fast. Okay, so our anchor is dragging and has not set. Okay, tell him neutral. So we're going to have to pull the anchor up, go find a better place to anchor, or change the amount of chain that we've deployed. We've deployed probably 150 feet. The water's only 6 feet deep here. So we may have to go find another place to anchor. You can see the mud coming up. So go ahead and pull the anchor chain up with the other button, the white button.
Okay. Should I tell him something?
Just stay in neutral.
Stay in neutral.
Now as the chain comes up, the rope will come with it. Okay, relax. Did you hear the grunt on the anchor windlass?
Yes.
That means we took a load, we took a strain, but the boat kind of slingshot forward a little bit. So pull it up again with the white button. Okay, just get ready, stop, get ready, stop. 1 or 2 more chain links. Okay, out a tiny bit. Okay, in a tiny bit. And you've got to disconnect those 2 pieces of rope, and then we'll put them back on the deck. But that's the procedure for putting the bridle in place on the catamaran boat. If you want to learn more about anchoring, ask Captain Chris. We had a chain knot. Okay, that's it. Stop, stop. No, stop.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So what was happening is the chain was untwisting down here, so we're good. So let's see about putting the snubber on.
Right.
Close these hatches so we don't fall in. So you've got to take that hook, crawl out there beyond that, back the boat up a little bit. See, the anchor's in the wrong place. Back the boat up a little bit.
Yo.
Stop on the deck. They can hear that very well. Okay, neutral. And we'll still have a little drift.
Right.
Okay, take that hook and put it on the flat side of the chain. You don't need to go through the loop. Just put on the flat side.
Flat side there.
Yep, nope, that's the loop. Nope, that's the loop.
So.
Nope, that's the loop.
Oh, flat side here.
Flat side, there you go.
Got it, got it, got it, got it. Okay.
Same thing with this one. Put it on the link right next to it. And you got a little safety pin on there. That's inside the hole. There you go. Flat side, flat side. Okay, back the boat up. And while she's backing the boat up, let out about 15 more feet of chain. We want the tension of the boat and the anchor on the rope, not on the chain. You see the ropes coming out on the bows, on the port and starboard? Let out more chain, let out more chain. More chain, more chain, more. Okay, good. Okay, put the boat in reverse. We want to bury the anchor. And you can see the weight of the boat is on the ropes, right, not on the chain. Okay, you can see it right there. So I think that we've buried the anchor.
Yeah, it doesn't look like, yeah.
So we've got all of the weight of the boat and the anchor on those black ropes. Now we slingshot forward, bump it in reverse just to slow us down. Okay, neutral. See, what happened was we stretched the black rope like a bungee cord, and then we shot forward.
Right. Okay.
So instead of overrunning everything and getting that black rope in our propellers, we want to do a little reverse gear to keep it from jamming in the propellers. So now the next fun thing that we've got to do is recover everything. get the anchor washdown hose out of that hatch and blow all of this mud off the deck before it comes up next time. So that's anchoring in a nutshell. Drive the boat forward. Be careful, you got a water skier in front of you, going to give you some wake. Oop, extra muddy, go slow, get some of that mud off. So we must be close to the anchor. I know you just bought the boat, but there's that red, which might mean 25 feet to the anchor. So back the boat up, we're running over the anchor. Okay, neutral, and pull up the anchor. Woo! Okay, so the clutch is slipping on the anchor windlass as designed. Drive the boat forward and lift the anchor. Okay, neutral, lift the anchor. Okay, neutral, lift the anchor while we can. So we buried that anchor real good. Drive the boat, okay, try to lift it some more. Okay, it broke loose, Pull it all the way up. Keep going, let it flip. There you go. We've got everything aboard, including 5 pounds of mud. So the anchor's up, we're doing good. Okay, great. Okie doke, so clean everything off. We're free to go home, so we can idle into the current or idle towards home while you clean off the mud off the bow of the boat.
Okay.
If you want to learn more about anchoring, ask Randy or Captain Chris. Ooh, I felt that breeze. So not only is that cool, but that might affect our boat going through the draw. Now, if anything gets weird, give us about 200 or 300 extra RPM to give you more steerage with the rudders. Can you feel the current dragging us right and left?
Yeah, the breeze is a little bit upcoming, pushing this way.
Okay, so we're through the skinny railroad bridge. Now we're going through the wider car bridge. So we've got it made now. CSX Railroad Bridge, Ortega River, south of Jacksonville. Lamb's Marina, Ortega River Marina. If you want to learn more about drawbridges and boats, ask Captain Chris. Bye. By the way, the car bridge is 44 feet tall. See, the current's got us a little bit.
Can you hand me the stick?
The pole, okay.
I need to get that right.
See how we're coming up. We're coming up.
Yeah, I'm in neutral right now.
Okay.
Just letting the current push.
Don't do anything yet. Get ready for port reverse. Okay, port reverse. Neutral. See, we went backwards a little bit and we skewed a little bit.
Yeah.
Port reverse. Neutral. Both reverse for a second. Both reverse. Neutral. Now we've got to watch our starboard side. So maybe starboard forward for a sec.
Do I want that line?
Neutral. Yep, you want the blue line with the white tape on it. Okay. Sweet, we're doing good.
Yeah.
Starboard only reverse. Neutral. Okay, we've got a friends grab the stern line. Okay, look, we've got the stern line over here.
Okay, cool.
If you can tie it short on that cleat, we'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, watch the boat to your port side. So port reverse. Neutral. Okay, port forward a little bit so we can put these big orange balls overboard. So we're protecting our neighbor. Okay, let's get back and tie up the starboard side of the boat and we're in. We'll need to do some adjusting, but we're in. Thank you guys, we appreciate it.
A little closer here, huh?
A little bit closer.
Yeah. He'll tie up
Rand, port reverse a little bit, pull us close to the dock.
Just a little bit.
Port reverse.
Tie it.
Okay, neutral, starboard forward. Neutral. That's not going to work. We just have to do it by hand. Okay, super. Thank you guys, we appreciate it. So after our first clip, our first few videos, you can see that we were doing skills, fueling, maneuvering, anchoring, learning how to use the bridle on the anchor. So we've achieved all of these goals with both captains aboard the boat, and then we returned to the dock, had a good dinner, had a good night's sleep, and then the next morning we take off for real, headed down the river, up the intracoastal. So here we go. Beat the bridge. That pontoon boat trying to beat the closing on the bridge. Turns out he may not need to open it after all, but he raced through before it shut, probably scared the bridge tender. Now that he's through the bridge, he did slow down, so I'm going to guess he might have to open the bridge after all, because we are at high tide, 4 feet above mean low water. So anytime you're trying to sneak through a bridge, be smart, call them on the radio and say, wait for me. If not, the bridge might close on your head. And that also is the reason bridges sound 5 whistles. 5 whistles means danger, the bridge is closing. If you want to learn more about drawbridges, check out our DVDs, Ask Captain Chris. Okay, so now we're headed towards that railroad bridge, the Florida East Coast Railroad. Look through the opening, I see what appears to be a barge, maybe a tugboat on the opposite side, but it's probably tied up. And this catamaran was in our marina at Ortega Landing, now ends in. And that's the I-95 bridge in Jacksonville, Florida. And keep our fingers crossed that no train is coming so we can get through that bridge. So the funny thing about this bridge, this is the Florida East Coast Railroad Bridge that goes all the way to Miami.
Yes.
But that building up there is the CSX World Headquarters, which is a competitive railroad. So the Florida East Coast Railroad Bridge is at the base of the CSX Railroad Headquarters. Now look at the current. See the water's jamming up against that big berm? And then look at these pilings. As we get down there a little bit, you can see the current's going that direction.
That way.
That way, which is out to sea, which means the tide is falling. And we're at an idle doing 7 knots with the aid of the current. Look at the current over there on the starboard. So the tide is falling, the tide is going out. How tomorrow moves, CSX. You want to learn more about drawbridges, railroad bridges, ask Captain Chris. It's easy to tell which way the current is going. Obviously, you can see, without me describing it, the current is going to the left of the screen because it's going down to the ocean. We're on an ebbing tide flowing out to the ocean. St. John's River, green buoy, number 55. In the background, you can see some ship terminals and barge terminals, but the important part here is know which way the tide is going, so you can adjust for high tide, low tide, opposing current, or a helpful current. If you want to learn more about cruising, ask Captain Chris. We're on the St. John's River, outbound, headed to sea, and we're meeting this car carrier coming in, I assume from Europe. We got the name of both the car carrier ship and also the tugboat from our AIS. You may be able to read the name of the ship as Liberty Passion. And as we get closer to the tugboat, which is called a ship assist tug, he will assist the ship docking. And the name of the ship assist tug is the Catamaran. And we got that name off of our AIS from our GPS chart plotter also. So that ship is full of brand new cars made overseas. It'll unload and reload with American cars going overseas. So when you're cruising, especially on rivers and big cities like New York, Charleston, New Orleans, and here in Jacksonville, you want to respect these ships, stay clear. They draft probably 35 feet of water. So they need the deep ship channel, and we can run on the edge in the shallow 20 feet of water. So the Liberty Passion is from New York, New York. That makes it a Jones boat. And that big ramp on the starboard stern is a roll-on, roll-off ramp that they deploy so the cars can roll on and roll off of the ship. If you want to learn more about whistle signals, meeting, crossing, and overtaking ships, look us up. Ask Captain Chris. Headed downriver towards the ocean from Jacksonville on St. John's River. You see the Crowley Marine roll-on, roll-off barges that the tugboats tow down to Puerto Rico. And we can see these large gantry cranes that are on railroad tracks, move right and left, so they can load containers on and off barges and ships. As we're headed downriver toward the ocean, we can see this small ship coming upriver. He is in the ship channel 50 feet deep. We are outside the ship channel 20 feet deep. The name of that boat is Atchafalaya, which is the Atchafalaya River in South Louisiana. And I think that is a trailing dredge. So that's a small dredge ship that will go along and dredge up shallow channels and then dispose of the waste. So if you're running through silted in channels, thank the Atchafalaya and other dredgers for help dredging them and make them deeper for you. If you want to learn more about boating, cruising, and meeting ships and navigating with whistle signals, ask Captain Chris. Northbound Intercoastal Waterway, just passing beneath the new 65-foot Sisters Creek Bridge. Mark your charts, it used to be 24 feet. And I am assuming this is the free dock. Got about a 28-foot sailboat, 65-foot Hatteras, 44-foot Sea Ray, and a sport fisherman. Sorry, I don't know the brand, but it's about 40 feet. Then we've got a back-down boat ramp for all of the trailer boats here. And then on the right, we've got the dock for all of the boats that have been launched from the trailers, including the jet skis. And a very nice parking lot. And I see a couple of RVs back there hiding in the trees looking for some shade. And I can only imagine what this looks like in the mornings when they're launching and in the evenings when everybody comes back home. So we're northbound headed towards Fernandina Beach, which will be the end of our day today. And we're in the Intracoastal Waterway. Keep in mind the markers, the reds and the greens, will have yellow decals denoting Intracoastal Waterway. If you want to learn more about navigating, free docks, or anchoring, look us up. Ask Captain Chris. We're northbound on Endeavour 44 Power Cat, Intercoastal Waterway near Sisters Creek, St. John's River. And we see another Power Cat going down Exhale, MY37. I don't know what brand that is, MY37. Pretty clean looking cat. He has a stand-up paddleboard strapped to his port beam, hardtop on his fly bridge. You can see we've got all the crazies out here on Saturday. We just have to deal with them. If you want to learn more about cruising, rules of the road, Intracoastal Waterway, ask Captain Chris. These are the things that scare you when you're cruising on your 20, 30, 40, 50-foot boat. These guys with these little canoes, outboard motor, electric motor on the front. This guy's ready to fall off of his boat. I don't think he belongs out here. He needs to be back into a sheltered area. We slowed down. Now that big wake that's coming is not from us. There's an outboard motor that came past us while we slowed down. So I'm going to film him in case he tips over. We'll have to go back and save him. But I think he's getting far enough away. And now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 outboard boats that are coming up that are very rude, or maybe they didn't see him. So when you're cruising, you are responsible for your wake. Watch everybody. I'm on a 44-foot power catamaran, and we're making about 10 knots against the current in Sisters Creek, Florida. And all these other boats are zooming past us at about 20. Be courteous. follow the rules of the road. If you want to learn more about cruising, ask Captain Chris.
Turn to port, slight turn to port.
Okay, but we'll do that turn before we get there. Okay. See it right there, so you'll go that way a little bit more.
Now?
Yep, ease to the left a little bit. There's our piling between the windshield wiper and the frame. That's in the next window.
Green triangle.
Okay, Sherry, you're doing good. Just stay the way you are. Activate this again. It'll clear out in just a second. No, it won't clear out. So that's the big rainstorm right there.
Yeah.
All right, big rainstorm. So we're 13 feet of water. We're doing good there. Now we've got the overlay on top of that. So you got to watch where you're going on the GPS chart plotter. Watch what you can see on the radar, and watch our depth gauge to make sure that we don't run aground. Then your navigator.
Now where's the next,
It's around to the left.
Marker to your 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock.
That's
there's a
not
boat out there.
okay. That's 1 o'clock. That's history. We need the next one, which will be
Oh, I thought we were going to have
forward of us to the left.
Yeah, there's a boat.
How come I didn't see the boat?
Okay, I just saw it.
I know, but it's a little close.
Buried
Okay,
in
Randy,
that.
hurry up and look for us. Around to the left. Find out where we're going. Because we're going to go into another rainstorm. You can see the forward range marker clear with the orange and red boards. And the aft range marker is way back there in the trees with the light. We're leaving Brunswick Landing, Georgia, and you would use these range markers when you're approaching from the river. And of course today we're leaving, so they're behind us. Learn how to use range markers. It may be important, coastal Georgia or South Carolina, when you're trying to run a course line and the tides ebbing or flowing drag you off course. Learn more about navigating. Ask Captain Chris. Holy cow, holy cow, look what we have just plugged into at this marina. The marina management said the other side is okay, but look at this. Yuck, yuck, yuck. That one appears okay. This one melted down. And that's on the south side of the pedestal. On the north side of the pedestal, it's fine. That's where we are. So when you're plugging in, check your shore power cables, check the connections, make sure that they're good and tight, and beware. If this happens, of course it'll start a fire, may even burn your boat down. So be sure to check your electrical connections and take care of your shore power and your generator power. If you want to learn more about shore power, docking, and electricity aboard your boat, ask Captain Chris. Onward and north. As we leave Brunswick, we head up the Intracoastal Waterway towards Savannah, Georgia, and then all the way up into Hilton Head Island. But As we're cruising along, part of your trip planning is figuring out where the pinch points are, where the shallow water is, and what time the tides are going to be very low. You'll notice a lot of mud banks on the port and starboard of the boat as we cruise north. And you may not have known it, but if you do a trip plan from Brunswick, Georgia to Savannah, Georgia, it's about 100 nautical miles in the intracoastal. There's nothing in between Brunswick and Savannah. So if you've ever heard the slogan, last chance for gas, Brunswick or Savannah, north or south, is the last chance for gas. Except a small out-of-the-way place called Kilkenny Creek. So we go into Kilkenny Creek for the evening. It's out of the way, it's quiet, it's remote, but they've got a dock and they've got electricity. And remember, as we stated earlier, our generator is not safe because of the cracked exhaust manifold. So when we approach Kilkenny Creek, we've got electricity, we've got air conditioning, we're happy people. Hey guys, when you're cruising, pay attention. You want a navigator and you want a helmsman. This big sandbar in front of me is under 8 feet of water at high tide. Obviously it's not high tide right now. We're in Georgia, between Brunswick, Georgia and Savannah, Georgia. That red floating buoy is not denoting deep water like a ship buoy, but it's actually showing shallow water because the Coast Guard will come and move the buoy depending upon where that sandbar moves, right, left, in, and out. So the marker's not that good, but it's 160 on the Intracoastal Waterway, north of Brunswick, Georgia. You can see that big old nasty sandbar. If you miss the turn, you're in trouble. There's another marker. This is a day marker, not a day beacon. There's no light on it. It's a day marker, and that's 158 Alpha. And then behind that, around to the side, is probably 158. Let me check on the water depth. How deep is the water? So we're 23 feet on this side in the channel where we belong. So you can see over there, if we passed on the wrong side of that sandbar, we would have been waiting for about 6 hours for the tide to return to float us off the sandbar. Learn how to navigate. Attend our classes in Vero Beach, Florida. Ask Captain Chris. We're northbound Georgia Intracoastal Waterway, St. Catherine Sound. And we see this marine trader. You can tell by the big emblem on his flybridge. Registered in Delaware. He's southbound. Pretty looking boat. Very white, shady lady from New Bern, North Carolina. Notice his dinghy's hanging high above the swim platform. It's a beautiful day, not much wind. Did I mention it's low tide and we've got 12 feet under our keel. If you want to learn more about cruising, ask Captain Chris. We're on a Power Cat overtaking a Leopard 39 Sailcat on his port. We called and asked him if he wanted to slow down so we can make an easier pass. He said, keep it coming. So we are. Watch and see how he handles our wake. He'll probably make a sharp left-hand turn into our wake so it won't be so violent. I'm guessing. I don't see him making the turn. Anytime you're overtaking somebody, either through whistle signals or by voice on the VHF radio, offer them the options if they want to slow down to make overtaking easier and more comfortable. In this case, he said, keep it coming, and we did. And you noticed his boat did not move very much. Let me swing around the side, see what's ahead of us. Nothing on that side. Let me swing around our port. I know there's a monohull sailboat up there somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Well, he must have gone around the corner. It's low tide in Georgia. Important to stay in the channel. We're at marker 130 northbound on the intracoastal. If you have any questions about passing, meeting, or overtaking whistle signals, ask Captain Chris. We're overtaking a monohull sailboat northbound in the intracoastal between 128, 126, Georgia, headed towards Kilkenny Creek. And you can see this monohull sailboat screaming along, probably at 6 knots. Notice this dinghy is a little soft on the transom. And also notice those yellow jugs at the base of his mast. Yellow jugs mean diesel fuel, just like red jugs mean gasoline. So it may be that the boat does not have a large enough diesel fuel tank that he has to carry extra diesel. I see 4 jugs times 5 gallons. He's got 20 gallons extra diesel on the foredeck. And here we just sped up a little bit. There's green 127. Notice the little yellow decal denoting ICW channel marker, Aid to Navigation, ATON. If you want to learn more about cruising, navigating, rules of the road, ask Captain Chris. After our quiet night in Kilkenny Creek, and I say quiet night, it's also dark. There's no city lights, there's no light pollution. It is black at night. So after our night there, we go back out to the intercoastal, turn left, turn north, and we head on up towards Savannah, Georgia, through Savannah, and into Hilton Head Island. So let's go.
Clear the aft.
Clear.
All right.
Hold on.
Hold on, you ready?
Yep. Go.
Beautiful, beautiful. Endeavour Power Cat cast off Kilkenny Creek, Georgia. Back to the Intracoastal Waterway. Hang a left north to Hilton Head. If you want to learn more about docking, look us up. Ask Captain Chris. You may want to turn on the radar. Notice it's not turning.
Yep.
Guess the tidal range right here. 65, Intercoastal Waterway. Look at that slime and scum, barnacles and seaweed that's about 4 feet tall. That means that the tide has gone out 4 feet with another 2 more feet to go. So we're on an ebbing tide going out, and it's obvious by looking at the pilings on the day beacons and the day markers. If you want to learn more about navigation, look us up. Ask Captain Chris. We're cruising north on the Intracoastal through Savannah, Georgia, or technically Thunderbolt, Georgia. And we're looking at this Nordhaven. I believe it's a 47, sitting at the face dock. We're in the slow zone, the no-wake zone as we pass by this marina. And I'll turn to my left, and you can see the big indoor work facility, Thunderbolt Marine. That's both the name of this marina, boatyard, and this area, this township is called Thunderbolt. Other than the Nordhaven, I see 4 catamaran sailboats, and now a main ship 43 with a blue hull, also at the dock at Thunderbolt Marina. I see his American flag, but I do not see a Burgess, so I don't know if he's a member of any cruising organization or the Great Loop Cruisers Association. And this is dear to my heart, that's a Gulf Star 44 motor cruiser, and that's the boat that we used to own for 19 years. We owned the sister ship named Sandy Hook on that 44 Gulf Star motor cruiser. 4-foot draft, twin engines, 130 horsepower. We cruised it for 4,000 hours from New Orleans to the Keys, to the Bahamas, north to the Chesapeake in New Jersey. If you want to learn more about cruising, how much fun it is, look us up. Ask Captain Chris. Now, this is the Costin Bluffs Bridge, Savannah, Thunderbolt, Georgia. So how tall is this bridge right now with tide?
Above 20.
22 to the sailing up across the Savannah
Steer
River.
left, steer left, steer left, steer left. The current's got you. Steer left a whole bunch more. So it's 26, 30, about 32 feet.
That's right, Captain. You need to pick a side and get there quick. We're coming up on your stern outbound on a big container ship.
You hear the radio?
Savannah River.
Okay.
There's another, coming up behind us here.
There's a ship in the river talking to a boat saying, "Get out of my way."
It's gonna push you right, and so steer out to the left. There's a crab trap, and that's a green one. Green can.
Sam Varnage Bridge, formerly known as Costin Bluffs Bridge. Want to learn more about opening drawbridges? Check out our DVDs. Ask Captain Chris. Looks like we've got a Coast Guard maintenance crew out here. Guy climbing up all the way in the top of green number 37, tinkering around with the blinking light. So you might be changing the light bulb, or changing the battery, or the solar panel. He's got on a blue helmet, and it's July. So you can imagine he's hot up there on top, while we've got the patrol boat with the little boom up on the bow. I don't know if you can see everybody, but they're under the T-top in the shade, taking it easy. So if you want to thank somebody for keeping these day beacons blinking, thank the U.S. Coast Guard. That's what they're doing. Also buoys, temporary buoys, and shifting sandbars. They'll move everything around to do their best to keep you in deep water. If you want to learn more about navigating, ask Captain Chris. Okay, Hilton Head Island is in sight. Land ho, if you want to think of it that way. But before you go to Hilton Head Island from the Intercoastal Waterway, you have to approach Broad Creek. There's two entrances to Broad Creek. The deeper southeast entrance, which is much deeper and buoyed, or the locals will do a shortcut through the local knowledge only that's more west of Broad Creek. So we chose to go with the proven route with the buoys into Broad Creek and then on up into Hilton Head Island. This looks to be a true Bahamian mooring. Two anchors deployed off the bow. You can see the two anchor rods or ropes, one forward and one to port. The idea is the boat will stay pretty much in the same position regardless of the tide coming in or going out. But the way that this one is designed or deployed, it looks confusing, and I'm concerned about that getting wrapped around the propellers or the rudders. We're in Hilton Head Island, Broad Creek, and that looks about a 30-foot Carver powerboat. Sorry, I cannot make out the name. If you want to learn more about anchoring, look at our 90-minute DVD, Anchoring. Ask Captain Chris. Broad Creek, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. We're heading north into Shelter Cove. Wanted to look at this Gula Gal. Gula is a local Indian. So Gula Gal looks like a charter boat going out fishing from Hilton Head Island. That looks to be a traditional New England lobster boat style hull, semi-displacement, semi-planing. If you want to learn more about Hilton Head or cruising, look us up on the internet. Ask Captain Chris. I'm in Broad Creek, Hilton Head Island, upbound, headed to Shelter Cove. Wanted to look at these two boats here, Broad Creek Marina. This oldie but goodie over to my left. And I'm looking at this dark hull trawler. Don't know the brand, but she sure does look ready for sea. Dark hull, one anchor on the prow, one anchor on the port bow. Very tough. You can see those A-frames with the paravanes or the deltas for the passive stabilizers. The boat is named Magpie from Salem, Oregon. So we can assume that boat came around the Panama Canal from Oregon to the Atlantic Ocean, Florida, and then up into Hilton Head Island. If you want to learn more about trawlers, long distance cruising, ocean passages, ask Captain Chris. Beautiful cruise boat named Holiday, outbound from Shelter Cove, Hilton Head Island. This is one comfortable looking seaworthy boat, metal, I'm going to guess steel, and it's based in Miami, Florida, operating out of Hilton Head this week. Looking at Shelter Cove Marina, you can see it's very sheltered. It's in a cove, and this would be the place to bring your boat in any kind of a hurricane threat. If you want to learn more about boats, ask Captain Chris. Idling up Broad Creek, Hilton Head Island, we pass a lot of the local boats. In fact, we see one boat from Miami up there for the season, but we also pass another boat named the Gula Gal. Gula is a tribe of Indians in the South Carolina area, and this is a charter fishing boat, the Gula Gal. So we're idling up, going slow because there's a lot of boats and marinas, both to our port and our starboard. And as we approach Shelter Cove, we go into the marina entrance, and guess what? Our engine alarms. It is screaming. So take a look and see what we have to do to shut it down. Okay, I checked and confirmed it's pumping water, so it's okay. So if it will not turn off with the electric key system, and if this is not operational, see that cable? Go back over there and push that lever to turn it off. Remember I showed you. It'll stand right there. Excellent.
Awesome.
So on mechanical diesels, both your Yanmars and on your Northern Lights generator, that's the way to turn it off if the key will not turn it off.
How often does that happen?
About once in a lifetime.
Okay, but it's good to know. Okay.
But with the Yanmar, if you turn the key off, the red kill button won't work.
Right.
So you have to turn the key to on position,
Right.
press the red kill button, and then turn it off again.
Right.
Or if you forget that, then you can come down here and just do it by hand.
Got it.
Now what's that screaming noise we hear?
Well, that's because you have it on.
That's because the key is still on.
Yeah.
The engine is not running.
Right.
It's not pumping oil.
Right, and the pressures are going down.
So it's a low oil pressure alarm. So that's what we have. I'll run up there and I'll turn that off. And if y'all want to drop the hatch on the engine and put that all back together, we'll get ready to roll. So that is a no oil pressure alarm, and I'll turn it off. So we're good. Want to learn more about engines and cruising? Ask Captain Chris. Okay, you may have seen that we had to shut down the engine, but before shutting down the engine, with the alarm screaming, we confirmed that we did have water flow, so we had cooling water flowing through the engine. And then when we wanted to turn it off from the helm, it would not turn off from the helm, so we had to use our finger to manually turn off the engine. So regardless of what kind of boat you've got, brand new or used, you should learn a little bit about your engine so you can figure out how to turn it off manually if the electronic shutdown system does not work. So to recap, we made this entire trip from Ortega River, Jacksonville, Florida, all the way up to Hilton Head Island with no problems. No groundings, no lost confusion with the buoys changing sides of the channel in the St. Mary's River, and we get all the way up to Shelter Cove and Hilton Head Island and the engine alarms. So there was no problems with the engine that we could see, but the boat owner called a mechanic, and the mechanic couldn't come out for a couple of more days, so we shut down the systems, tied the boat up, plugged into shore power, turned on the air conditioner, and called it a good trip.